So here's how you should write a software engineering resume and what will actually get you interviews. So if you've been applying to software engineering internships and even full-time jobs and really hearing nothing back, like no emails, no calls, nothing, your resume format might be the problem. It might not be your skills or experience, but rather your format. And that's kind of crazy to think about, right? And I was actually in this exact position. I was applying to internship after internship using random templates I found online. I didn't know the verbiage or like the process on how to really format the resume. I saw some templates online, they look good, but looking back at my very first resume to the one that I use now and the one I'm going to tell you guys about, it's like miles different. So, yeah, I wasn't getting any interviews with those random templates, like literally zero interviews. Instead, I was getting rejection emails more, a bunch of rejection emails. So I didn't realize at the time that most of those templates were completely failing the ATS, which is basically the applicant tracking system. That's the automated software that companies use to filter resumes before a human ever sees it. So before HR actually gets the resume in their hand, they run it through a software to make sure it aligns closely with the role that you're applying to. Otherwise, they would literally have to skim through thousands and thousands. And you see those bots on LinkedIn or any other place you apply to, like Indeed or Glassdoor. Those bots, they spam apply to every single role. It's getting more sophisticated now, but basically they use the same resume. So, you can't be applying with one resume that's about like fully like say front end development and use that to apply to like a systems level developer position. Like you wouldn't get it, like you would not get the interview. So that's why they have this ATS in place. But once I figured out the right structure, I actually optimized for how ATS actually works, and then everything changed. And this is the exact framework that I use and what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, before we get into it, I just wanted to say that I've reviewed thousands and thousands of resumes and helped hundreds of students land internship with this format. So this advice and the resume format has also helped me get internships at Apple and Verizon. So it really works, and I really advise you to put your full focus onto this video and just follow along. Even if you're on the train or on the bus or driving right now, just have it playing in the background, but actively listen to it, okay? And if you need to like come back into this video, then I recommend like saving it to your watch later. But yeah, so let's get into it. Now, what is ATS and why does it matter for your internship resume? So first of all, what is ATS? Who is ATS? And before we get into the how, here's the why. So the most large companies run resume through ATS, like I said, before a recruiter will even look at it. So ATS scans your resume for relevant keywords, structure, and formatting. So if your resume isn't formatted correctly or uses fancy design elements that confuse the parser, it actually gets filtered out automatically. So those resumes where they have like the cute little fonts and they have like their picture and like weird looking summaries and stuff like that. Like those, bro, I'm telling you, like those get filtered out because the parser literally gets confused. It's getting more advanced, obviously, but still, like that stuff like confuses the parser. But anyways, you want to think of it as a bot that filters out based on your format and keywords. This is why a lot of well qualified candidates never hear back. It's not that they're unqualified. It's just that their resume just never made it to human. And I can vouch for that. I know people who are legitimately so talented. They have a lot of good experience and they never crack internships or even jobs at, high tech companies. And I've seen others who have like mid level experience, like not that great of a project, like even me, for example, right? Um, and they break into like the top tech companies, um and they actually get interviews. So I'm telling you, like this may be your biggest bottleneck. But and Honestly, a lot of students I've talked to have never even heard of this or know what it is. Now that you know, you're one step ahead. And if you already knew about this, I'm gonna ingrain it even deeper and help you out by giving more value here. So here's the gold standard template. So go onto Google or go onto Safari, whatever you use, or even DuckDuckGo, right? Whatever you use, search Jake's resume and yeah, so Jake's resume template. And the first link should be his resume. So the template I personally started with and I still base my resume on is Jake's resume. So it's clean, ATS, friendly, and widely recognized in the software engineering community. Now, I do use a variation of it, but Jake's resume is the cornerstone. You want to start here. So basically, what it looks like is, again, if you go to the template, you'll see what it looks like here. But basically, it's just so nicely formatted. It's created by someone named Jake Ryan. I think he was a student at Southwestern University, and he basically was so fed up of, like everyone gatekeeping, and then he just went ahead and published his resume, and I think, it took off. But yeah, that's the format you want to be using. It's completely ATS friendly. Now, for software engineering resumes, as a whole, here are the non-negotiable rules here. So number one is you want to keep it to one page, no matter how much experience you have. I don't care if you've done a million internships, your resume should be one page. This is the standard for internships and also early career software engineering roles. Recruiters spend an average of 7 seconds, bro. Count on your hand, like 7 seconds on an initial resume scan. Like that's nothing. And one page forces them to prioritize what actually matters. So having that one page and the most relevant internships or experiences or projects on there really makes that difference. Second thing is keep the formatting clean and editable. Your resume should be clean and easy to read, but just as importantly, it needs to be easy for you to edit as well. You'll be tailoring it for different roles and companies, so a simple editable format saves you a lot of time down the road. You can use Overleaf, or what I personally do is I use Google Docs. It's really easy. You can just copy, you can literally just make a copy of the document and tailor it for a specific role if you need to. But avoid tables, columns, text boxes, or graphics. This breaks ATS parsers. You don't need them anyways. Like they don't matter at all. If you look at Jake's resume, you'll see what I'm talking about here. And then you want to order your sections by relevance. So the order of your section matters. Arrange them based on what's relevant for the role you're applying for. For software engineering internships, particularly the standard order, and again, this is for like early career as well. For mid to high, I'm not too sure honestly because I haven't been there yet. This is just my experience that I'm talking about. You want to first order it as education, skills, experience, projects, and then additional slash extracurricular slash affiliations. Uh, that's the format I use. That's what's worked for me. But I'll break down each section for you really quickly so you understand like what goes in there. So education, it's really simple. You just list your university name, your expected graduation date, and your degree. That's it. If your GPA is strong, like 3.5 and higher, include it. If not, then just leave it out. Personally, mine wasn't, so I just left it out. For skills, you want to list your technical skills, your programming languages, frameworks, tools, and technologies. You want to tailor this section to match the keywords on the job description, but you don't want to, how do I say this? You don't want to copy and paste like exactly what it says from the job description. You want to have your own tone to it, like make it personal, obviously, but you just literally don't want to copy paste from the job description. That makes it seem like you purposely tailored it and you're basically trying to fish for the interview. I will have another guide on how to tailor your resume out very, very soon. So stay tuned for that and subscribe if you're new here. As for experience, you want to list out your experiences in reverse chronological order. What this means is basically newest to oldest. You have the newest at the top, oldest like going down. Now this applies to internships, part-time roles, research positions, and relevant work history. Even if you work at McDonald's, you want to include that chronologically. Now this is where the XYZ bullet point format becomes your most important tool. And I'll talk about this in a little bit. So stay tuned. So for projects, so next is projects. So you want to list your projects in reverse chronological order as well. For projects, don't put your date. Instead, link directly to the project GitHub repo, live demo, or the portfolio link altogether. Now, projects are one of the most important sections for early career engineers, especially when professional experience is limited. So if you don't have a lot of professional experience, I highly, highly recommend that you really focus on the project section and get those projects up, right? And then file format and naming. So this is like a nuance, but always save and submit your resume as a PDF, right? It should be common sense, but some people have some weird ass formats. Now name the file clearly, something like first name underscore last name resume.pdf, or simply first name underscore last name.pdf. This keeps it professional and easy for recruiters to find, and it just looks cleaner overall. Now the XYZ bullet point formula and how to show your real impact. Okay, so just please focus on this section. I see so many people writing their bullet points and it's complete trash. Okay, so this is the single most important thing you can do to improve your resume. Every bullet point that you write on your resume should follow this structure: accomplished X by doing Y, which resulted in Z. It doesn't have to be exactly those words, but it has to be that format. So I'll give you examples, right? So I'll give you some examples that ChatGPT spun up, okay? So one of them is like reduced API response time by 40% by implementing Redis caching, which improved the overall user experience for 10,000 daily active users, which is really good. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds crazy, right? Like you reduced API response time by 40% and you did something for 10,000. I don't even understand what it's saying, but as a recruiter, I see 40%, 10,000 daily active users. Dang, this guy knows what he's doing. Okay. And then the second one, it's a little bit weaker, I want to say, but still good if you really can't talk about anything else. Built a full stack web application using React and Node.js that automated a manual reporting process, saving the team 5+ hours per week. This one you want to be a bit more descriptive, but the first one I said was really, really good, extremely good. One thing I would change on the first one is maybe instead of saying overall user experience for 10,000 plus daily active users, it kind of sounds redundant. You want to remove user once maybe. But you see how much more powerful that is? The XYZ format forces you to show that impact, not just the tasks. Recruiters and engineers reviewing your resume want to see what you actually accomplished, not the list of responsibilities. So quantify them wherever you can, and numbers will stand out. Trust me, this is what's worked. Now think of your resume as a living document. So here's a mindset shift that changed how I approach this, okay? You want to treat your resume as a living document, not a static file that you submit once and forget. So instead, do this, okay? Create a separate document. You can do it on Overleaf, or you can copy it over to Google Docs. But you want to maintain a master resume that contains every experience, project, skill, and achievement you've ever accumulated in your professional career. When you apply to a specific role, you can pull from that master document and customize your resume to match the job description. That's it. That does two things, okay? First thing, it saves a lot of time because you don't have to make stuff up. You can literally just do a simple lookup and boom, there you go. Like a hash table, right? All of one lookup. And then the second thing is it's honestly nicer because you won't forget what to write, or you won't forget your experiences. So you'll literally have a kind of like a diary, if you will, of what you've done, and you can look back at it and see how much you've grown as well. So it's really nice that way. But you want to tailor the keywords, reorder projects, and adjust your skill section. This targeted approach dramatically improves your chances of passing ATS and resonating with the recruiter as well. Now, again, I will have a full guide on how to tailor your resume, but this is the general resume guide here. So what if you don't have enough experience to actually fill your resume? This is the most common concern that I hear, and it's very, very solvable. So I actually have a full guide on how to gain experience as a software engineering student, even when you have none. I will try and link that video. So this covers everything from personal projects to from personal projects and open source contribution to research opportunities and freelance work. Now, these are real experiences you can put on your resume and speak to confidently in interviews. But the programs I mentioned, those are really good. So summary for everything here. So we have one page, clean formatting, no graphics or tables. Use Jake's resume as your base template. Section order is education, skills, experience, projects, and then affiliations. You want to have a reverse chronological order for experience and projects. You want to link projects to GitHub or a live demo. Use the XYZ format for every bullet point. Quantify your impact wherever possible. Save as a PDF with a clean professional file name, and then maintain a master resume and tailor it for each application. Getting more interviews start with a resume that actually gets seen. So once you dial in the formatting and learn how to communicate your impact clearly, the callbacks will just follow. So just stay consistent. If you've found this helpful, you can check out the other guides as well. And thank you.